Hey, Takan here. I just finished playing on the PUBG test servers and thought I would give you my first impressions on what I think about the new map and some additions that go along with it. So let's start with the new map. When playing on PUBG, the new map is called Miramar. You're spawned on a prison located on one of the many islands that the map has. Let me just to start, it's a great experience. Not because you can run around the new high security prison or look at the beautiful view of the cliffs surrounding the area. No, because it's quiet. There's no weapons at the spawn, and at last, I would no longer have to enter a game with my ears bleeding, suffering from shell shock, and I really hope it stays that way. The map is set in South America, looking like a war-torn desert with slums and derelict buildings scattered around. But I also got a bit of a Wild West feeling. I don't know, maybe it's the new gun they included, or maybe it's the beautiful tabletop hills they have. The map is about the same size as previous, but this one felt a little bit bigger. This is because the map, I think, is more densely populated with structures and large towns or cities. This means you don't have to travel far between locations to get loot. I only wish I had more time to loot in some of these places, as I was usually rushed away by the circle and left wanting more. I don't know if they decreased the yield in some of these buildings, or I just got lucky, or maybe I'm just not familiar with the map, but I felt that way. The map also features a number of new buildings that I enjoy running around, such as hangars and tall 5-story buildings. This made combat in cities more enjoyable, I think. As elevation came more into play, I was more concerned about also what was above me. Speaking of height, I felt the whole map in general featured more elevation and more noise in the terrain. This is good because in the open parts there's far less trees and long grass where you can find cover, so you really need the hills if you want to stay alive. However, I felt like this changed combat a little bit. When I was fighting in the new map, it felt a little bit like playing whack-a-mole, me and my enemies would be popping up and down, in and out of cover from the hills, trying to shoot at each other. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but that's one way I felt it changed. One thing I really like though about how the rough terrain changes gameplay is how it changes vehicles. Long gone are the days of Dacias flying through the country, coming out of trees, going up and down cliffs. If you try that now, you'll end up on your roof or in a ditch. The new map is far less forgiving to vehicles, and traversing terrain is much slower, which I found when I got caught out a couple times when I was in the blue, and I thought, hey, I'll just nip over this hill right here, and that was the end of that. But what this patch does do, I think, is push people towards using the roads rather than going off-road. And I think this is good. I mean, it creates bottlenecks and it promotes conflict between players, which I found really enjoyable. I like getting caught up in the gunfights on the highways or in small towns, and it made it more interesting. So I like this direction. Overall, I think I enjoyed the new map. There was times I was tearing down the roads, my sawn-off shotgun, listening to the purr of my new V8 soundtrack, and I felt like it was Mad Max, like the Road Warrior. However, I didn't get what I hoped for. PUBG, it's known for being a bit rough around the edges. It's an early access game, of course. But I felt like with the new map, it was a kind of the same in those regards. I saw, stretched textures. I saw a lack of attention to detail with the placing of models and construction of map that saw gaps and jagged edges that just kind of broke my immersion. Things in the distance, like the mountains, they looked blocky and also had a lack of atmosphere, I felt. So it still very much felt like an indie game. What I think I would have liked to see maybe is kind of more defined areas, such as like an agriculture district, urban and slum areas, or features in the map that can be recognized. Just something to build it, give it a little bit more character, Right now it feels like a little bit of like a scattering of assets. It's good. I like it, but I just wanted a little bit more. I expected a real step up in the level of quality and gameplay, and for the new map to become like a standard that everybody would want to play. Instead, what I saw was a map that's just an alternative to the original map, that we have now. Not necessarily better, just different. Alright, let's move on to the weapons. So with the new map, they also bring some new guns into play. I'll start off with the Win 94, the Winchester. It's a lever action repeating rifle. Uses 45 caliber bullets and has no room for attachments. It chambers 8 rounds. It does a fair amount of damage, but it is a little slow to reload. I found it fairly commonly throughout the map, and for the most part I really enjoyed using this gun. It serves as kind of a poor man's SR, I feel. I can't see a situation where I would want to take this gun over any of the other SRs. I mean, it can't fit a scope, so you're limited to iron sights. It lacks damage that the Kar 98 possesses, as well as the fire rate from the SKS or Mini, so I feel like even an AK or an M16 would perform better over this. But the 45 ammo category could certainly use more guns, so somebody who likes marksman weapons, I welcome it, you know. I wish I could put a sight on it though, even at 2 times, or maybe if it had a faster reload rate, that would help it out a lot. The second gun added was the sawn off shotgun. It's a break open, double barreled shotgun, uses 12 gauge shells, does less damage than the other shotguns, and cannot be equipped with any attachments. Sounds bad, right? Here's the deal maker. It's equipped in your handgun slot. That means you can keep your SR and your ARs, and you can have this little pocket shotgun when things get close and personal. Considering that handguns right now are hardly ever get used, probably because they feel like, you know, you're shooting Nerf darts or something, this could actually be really good. I've been enjoying using this little pocket rocket, and normally I keep like 4 or 5 rounds 12 gauge on me, and it's been effective in some situations. I really like it. The last gun added was the R45. It's a revolver. It also uses 45 caliber bullets and has room for a red dot, chambers 6 rounds. Handguns, you know, they always felt like hitting an enemy with a wet noodle, you know, it didn't deliver the power you needed. So when I saw this gun, I thought, great mate, it's an R8, right? An overpowered handgun that I'm going to want to use all the time. However, in the short time I used the gun, I felt a little underwhelmed. I mean, it sounded good, it looked good, but then I hit a target and they don't really die too fast. I mean, maybe if it had more damage or something, I don't know, maybe handguns just don't work in PUBG. So I'm not really too excited about this weapon. I probably won't be using it. Okay, that's it guys. Well, thanks for joining me. That's my opinions on some of the new things that are coming to PUBG soon. I know it's the test round, but I think it won't change very much from now until when it releases. It's just my opinion, so just take them for what it's worth, and have a good one. Bye.